Hey yo YouTube, I am here to continue talking about my D&D game. Unfortunately, I'm pretty upset with myself right now. Like yesterday or the day before, I was looking through my unedited videos and things I haven't uploaded, and I realized I've deleted like four of them without meaning to. I think I was trying to delete stuff that I already uploaded and did the wrong one. I kind of think this one I never recorded though, because this being the end of the Band of Titans for a while before we switched over to the Brotherhood. And there's spoilers, there's not a fight in this one, so I didn't have to put up a map. I think I pushed it off and then didn't realize it whenever because like the slight spoilers again, the car campaigns kind of merge, and I think I just didn't realize I never got around to this one. Listening to my notes, though, I might be wrong about that. And then one of the other ones is the second session of the new campaign, and the one of the other ones is like the most recent one, and that one was like a 40-minute video that covered like three sessions. Um, and they're really good. Monster picks that the DM made, and again, I lost it. Hopefully, these are better than my original ones. I doubt it because I'm 100% relying on notes. And listening to this one, there's a few parts I don't know if I could make sense. Uh, Without because before the memory would have been fresh and stuff. Like I'm not exactly sure what I'm talking about in some of these. So let's try and see if we could get through this and see how it goes. So we just defeated the hag and with the demonic fiend hag, and we're able to keep her alive, and we bring her through the vortex, and we she had some kind of a stone that she was able to build her army with, so we returned it to the arch princess. And I remember Craven starts asking stuff that his character should have already known, like how is the war gonna proceed now, like that. And if I remember right, Smite answers them that like what we did cut off their reinforcements, so now all we have to do is dwindle down their army. And like in the middle of the conversation, because we're sitting at a dining table thing, a banquet hall or something, and Basker goes over to Maravik and tells her, and I guess Jesse Baba, according to my notes, that the Watchers are Greys, and because in the Chronicles it talks about how the Greys are part of their history, and the Greys are no joke. Like in the original campaign, like their leader ended up like tearing apart our world, and it ended up like re-emerging in kind of a Vampire Masquerade universe, the Dark Universe. And one of them does confirm that because like Basker's asking, are they of the stars? Are they from the stars? And one of them confirms it, like says that they have like a base on the moon. Um, I believe one of the Arch Princess's people, or one of Jesse Baba's people tells us this. Uh, Smite ends up asking like, why are they using why are the Vimyamos using grays? And he gets told that they got dealt a big blow, and how before that they used a variety of species, and I guess they're from the world 6.18, and they end up getting replaced with the Unstables and the Watchers. And I guess there were early prototypes of the Unstables, eventually forming into the ones that we use now, or we fought recently, and I guess then they added the Watchers. And the Arch Princess says that in her home world, I guess she's saying the Watchers were field agents, and that they appear to be using the same tactics they did there, where they're like changing the environment. She didn't say it, but I'm guessing she means like they're like terraforming, and something about the teleporters and the boxes they use. Um, Maravik ends up saying how she wants to make a temple of knowledge in this city, in the city of the Arch Princess. And Smite ends up asking about the witches that we that the Brotherhood of the Lion met outside the vortex, and she tells us that they're the witches of the Great Cabal. Um, I don't know if I said this before, but like apparently they feud with the hags. And for some reason, it gets brought up that Ophelia was from 1.8. Uh, Again, I'm just giving out what my notes tell me. It's not really cohesive, just information, information, information. But unfortunately, that's how this video has to go. Hopefully, the other ones will be better. And then after that, I guess the party splits up waiting for the interrogation of the fiend, hag, witch, whatever. Smite goes street preaching. And I guess Naomi goes to the bar. And then again, I got some more lore dump. Um, I don't know if it's from the interrogation or if it's a conversation in Naomi's, but let's get through it. Apparently, Chase and Ophelia are some type of fiends called Urdu. Some kind of hybrids that have fiendish lineage. Anything that has some kind of fiendish lineage uh, apparently can be transformed into an Urdu. And then they get start talking about how Antiochus got trapped in nowhere. And then I say something I don't really understand what I'm saying, so I guess let's get past that. But I'm gathering that before Antiochus got there, the Fiend Lords were the rulers of nowhere. And whenever he arrived, I guess he died and then, like, came back stronger. Again, I don't really understand, or I can't exactly remember how the DM put it, but I guess like he kind of like absorbed in the world and he was able to take over the Fiend Lords. And a character named Tis apparently ends up becoming the general of the Cambiont Lords. We end up finding out that he can make Cambionts every day, and apparently he doesn't make much of them, but he does it every day. So eventually the army will build to great numbers. And something about being the leader of the cult of the hidden in multiple worlds. Um, Yeah, this is something I remember that's not in my notes. Is that how you become one? Is that if you have Phoenix lineage, you die, they're able to bring you back to life as one of these. And again, I'm talking about something about summoning the powers of Urdu. In the notes, I even say I didn't really catch it, so whatever that means. And the prophecy of everyone standing together ends up getting brought back up. And the hag fiend that we captured apparently was just looking out for herself. And then I guess shortly after that, we end up returning home back to the manor. When we get back to the manor, we find out that the Princess Lashar, um, uh, the princess that ended up coming through a vortex through another world, apparently ended up being from Waterworld. Pretty much, she tells us that she was granted sanctuary to the Elven nation. Um, and I remember during this conversation, because like really the only one who knows what's going on is Johann, that knows that she's an alternate descendant of Main Lashar, which used to be the head of the Janissareans, and if they find out that she exists, they might use her to become the next heir because apparently it's vacant right now. And I remember as I'm listening, or I think it's just Basker who's there. I'm wondering if Craven's going to ask questions, if Craven's going to dig into it, but he never does. And and I remember thinking that if he did, for like Basker to stop him, like, hey, maybe the less people that knows this should be the better. Or apparently the Elven Union is what it's called. But they say their farewells and stuff, and Armoretti ends up crying, and something gets brought up about Bram and Huddle. And like that session, we ended up wrapping up there. Um, if I remember right, we ended up early, and so like I asked the DM like, let's just finish up the hide and earth stuff with just me and you. So we switched back to that, where Hyde and Ur just killed the things in the pit, and the Orc King ends up standing and acknowledging that that dude that's speaking to his advisor, he has agreed to join this council. And I end up asking the Orc that joined our party, what are those centipede Orc things? He tells me that they're mostly used for subterranean combat, and they're called Karansi. More or less, he tells me they're the same thing as a Drider, where I guess they're orcs that got punished. And ended up I don't get it. Like you punish well, I mean I do get it. No one wants to have spider legs, but it seems like you become a lot stronger and stuff. If I'm right, Driders are kind of like they lose some of their intelligence too. So yeah, I guess I do get it. And and then, like, I guess the party gets together and has a meal, or maybe even Smite gets together with Joya and has a meeting with her. Um, I want to say this is where, like, I lay out my initial plan, where, like, the first wave will be, shoot, I'm having trouble remembering because it got changed so much. But if I'm right, like, the first wave would be, like, the Bugbears and the Warg Riders that will take out the small patrols, uh, and the Warg Riders. Again, like I didn't put this in my notes just because I thought I would remember this. Uh, and the Warg Riders will use information traveling back and forth, and then we'll hit them with big infantry, something like that. It doesn't matter because none of it happens. But then, like again, in between sessions, I have the Smite trying to bring the dwarves from the smaller clans into the fold. And this was one thing that I remember I had it pretty much planned out like a good like 2 weeks of how I was gonna approach this. But pretty much Smite sets up a meeting. Uh, let me let me go through those notes. And the leader I meet with is a female dwarf named Dangjin Doigyeth. Um, but like they seem surprised that Hobgoblin wanted to set this meeting. Uh, but I go right into my spew. But pretty much he tells them that that they're that we are building a council. We're building a council in the Mongrel lands, and we found mines there and stuff. Um, he tells them that this council is aware of your aid whenever we took Goblin City. Um, because again, to go over it, the orcs and the dwarves uh, made an alliance, went through Goblin City. After they were able to take it over, the orcs just moved on, and the dwarves stayed. Um, But whenever the dwarves stayed, they ended up only splitting up the good stuff with the top, because like in our world there's five top clans, and pretty much all the good spoils went to the five clans, and this like lower set ended up kind of getting left out. So like Smite says that this council was aware of what your aid was, and how when it came time to split out the spoils, you were dealt a small end of the stick. Um, Although this injustice may not ever be corrected with your people, we wish to do what we can to fix it on our end. Um, and we tell them we offer you a spot to mine the mines, and trade and barter, and if willing, we're going to go to war with the gnolls and trolls. That if you wish, you could pick up your axes again and fight side by side by us. And they're hesitant. Like at first, like they say, like they weren't planning because apparently the Savage Lands is a little bit out of the way, and they're saying they weren't planning on being that far. But then again, that could be a good thing. And like they ask if they, because like at first it said like they'll be working alongside the orcs in the mine, but they kind of say if we find a spot by ourselves, can we make our own? And it also gets kind of brought up of them making their own hall, and we end up saying yes. Like all the Orc King is really worried about is things that used to be ancient orcs. And then after that, I asked if Joya or if because I have like the Keela or Keyleth with me, the ambassador, like female orc, and I asked if she wants to go to Goblin City to finally get them fully on board because they've been waiting for the Goblin King to agree. Apparently, they're the top three are called the Goblinoid Trifecta, the three guild leaders, the Hobgoblin, the Goblin, and Bugbear. And same thing goes pretty well. We tell them that the Orc King has finally agreed, and they say that that's like we agreed will come whenever you got him on board. So we'll stay true to it. And they ask exactly what are we asking for, and at the time I'm only looking for 200 warriors. That ends up changing, uh, but but like they ask, like, do we just want goblins or like a mixture of them? I say we actually have a big fair amount of bugbears already. Not that we couldn't use more, but right now I'm mostly looking for tinker goblins and hobgoblin generals. And like pretty much they agree to tally up the numbers. After that, we go end up talking to the Tauren, which are the like Minotaur like goat people, and same thing, kind of go over a few of what we're doing. For them, they seem more interested in the holding the Savage Lands before other people are able to take it over. And again, they end up agreeing. Like I tell them how I want more, because yeah, that was part of the things was I wanted the heavy infantry to have a lot of large creatures. And like they kind of ask, like, do you not think that what you already got is are good enough for it? And I'm like, but you could not so much, but you could always use more. Um, but that pretty much wraps up the end of this video. Can't do future predictions because I already know what's gonna happen. I'm gonna record that, try and record that 40-minute video again right after this. So hopefully that goes smooth and maybe I'll be able to get it less than 40 minutes this time. We'll see. This one's popping up on 20 now looking at it. Uh, I learned my lesson. I'm gonna try to upload and edit faster. Try not to lose track of where my videos at because like I ended up filling up my data. That's why I started deleting stuff. So try not to do that again and check you later.